Hi, welcome everybody. I'm Maurits van Kuik. I'm the finance manager, and I'm truly honored to be your host tonight. Thank you all for being here, and a special thanks to our partners. Without you, it wouldn't have been possible. And also, thanks to everyone who's watching through the live stream right now, from the comfort of your home. I hope we can create some energy and transfer it through your screen. Anyway, today we're going to talk about our design reveal, a truly special moment to the team, I think I can safely say. We're actually going to talk a little through a story. The thing is, today, we have to introduce what Formula Student is, because I think some people don't know what Formula Student is. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about what Formula Student Team Delft is, what Formula Student is, and that will be done by our team manager, Renee Roozen. Afterwards, we go to our project manager, and as I like to call him, Chief Planning, Jorrit, who's going to talk a little bit about what these people have been doing for the last half year. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but you might have been wondering where your family member has been for the last half year during dinner, or where your teammate has been during football practice, or where your housemate has been all these nights. Well, the short answer is dedication. Dedication for this design right here, the fastest electric race car that we can build, and I think the fastest electric race car in the world. That's why after Renee and Jorrit have taken the stage, our chief engineer, Tim Guezen, will talk about our design and our fastest electric race car. 3 years ago, my journey started within this team. A presentation just like this one, but not here in the aula, but across the street. I'm truly honored and very grateful that I've been a part of these incredible, hardworking, brilliant, and just amazingly talented engineers. You've become team members, then friends, and even family. And I hope we can radiate that throughout this beautiful aula. Well, anyway, without further ado, let's introduce and give a warm welcome and applause to our team manager, Renee Roozen.
Good night, everybody. Partners, friends, family, the team. It's an honor to stand in front of you tonight for the official design presentation of Formula Student Team Delft's newest car, the DUT25. My name is Renee Roozen, and I'm the proud team manager of Formula Student Team Delft this year. I, tonight, together with Jorrit, our project manager, and Tim Guezen, our chief engineer, will take you on a journey to the immense dedication and the motivation that it took to design the DUT25. So, let's strap in, because for our very first question of tonight, we're going to do a little bit of the time traveling, all the way back to 1981, Texas. At the University of Texas, a few professors had a look at their students. Yes, they're smart, and they could crank out numbers like no other. But when it came to delivering an actual physical project to the marketplace, they were lacking a little bit. And so they came up with a competition, a racing event, where students from all over America were challenged to build and design a car in the span of a year. Over the years, this competition grew, realizing that to build a car, you don't just need the mathematics or the physics behind it. You need to be able to get your resources, you need to be able to come up with the planning that your dream will actually turn into a reality by the end of the year. And so they added different events, engineering design, cost event, and therefore Formula Student became the multidisciplinary event that eventually made its way over to Europe. Nowadays, there's over 800 different teams, making Formula Student the largest engineering design competition in the entire world. There's a lot of competitions over the entire world. Formula Student Team Delft focuses mostly on the competitions in Europe, and tonight we're going to be focusing on the biggest and best competition of them all, Formula Student Germany. Formula Student Germany has over a regulation book of around 103 pages, and this sets the regulations for every competition in Europe. Meaning that if you win Formula Student Germany, you can be seen as the best of the best, and therefore Formula Germany can be seen as the championship-winning event of the year. So how does this actually work? Formula Student Germany has over 1,000 points that can be given away. They are distributed in two categories. You have your dynamic events, which is where your car is able to drive and show its performance on track. And then you have your static events. This is where your car won't be able to drive, and the team is challenged in different ways. For example, you have your business plan presentation. For this, you have to look at your car, take one product of it, and turn it into a hypothetical business, ensuring that you get a revenue, you ask for an investment, and you show when you're going to be able to break even. There's around 75 points that can be distributed to the people that do really well in this. Then, focusing more on cost, your cost and manufacturing event. This event is up to 100 points worth, and the team is now focusing on explaining to the judges how every single part of the car was budgeted for, and also including shipping costs. Then, for most engineers, the hardest design of them all, also worth up to 150 points, is your engineering design judging. During this event, judges will walk around the car with the team members and they'll ask questions. Questions about every little part of the car. And the team members will challenge to explain exactly what this part does, why it's on the car, and why it adds performance. So, 325 points worth of the static events. Now we want to go over to the fun part, obviously racing. But we cannot just do that. These cars are made by students, and they have to be made safe. So therefore, the car will have to go through different pre-inspections. We call them scrutineering. The event has around 6 different events, and there are 6 different tests that the car has to pass through and able to make sure that it can actually enter the track. Only if the team is able to finish all of these scrutineering practices is the car declared safe, and can the car actually show its performance on track. Don't underestimate this, because not every team is able to go through this. All right, then, we've made it past scrutineering. So let's go racing. Our very first event, the dynamic event. We have the skid pad. This is a figure-8 track where the car will first drive to the right 2 times, afterwards to the left 2 times, focusing on ensuring that the center of gravity of the car works, that your tires have enough grip. And this event is up to 50 points that can be distributed amongst the teams. There's also 75 points available extra for a team that does this driverless. That means that the autonomous system of the car will be working, and they will do this event for you. We'll go over to the acceleration. The name kind of already says this. The car starts from a standstill and then will accelerate over a meter of 75. And they'll have to do this as fast as possible. Again, you can do this with the driver, which is up to 50 points. And you can do this without the driver. Again, 75 points. And for something as acceleration, where you have to do this as fast as possible, shredding around an average of 80 kilograms of driver weight is not the worst part. All right, on to the real fun part, the autocross events. For the people in the room familiar with Formula 1, we can describe this as the qualifying event. But there's a catch. In Formula 1, qualifying, the drivers get up to hours and hours of practice and actually practice and learn the track in order to crank out the best time for qualifying. For us, this works a little bit different. We get 20 minutes. 20 minutes of walking the track. This means that the drivers walk this track, and then in their mind, they kind of make a 3D image of how this track works, meaning that they remember where the corners are, what is the optimal driving line, what is the optimal braking point. They then get into the car, and they will try and do this. Oh. Okay. There you have it, the autocross event from Formula Student Austria back in 2019. I've seen this video, I think, around 100 times right now, and it still astonishes me how crazy fast this thing is. I kid you not, this is not accelerated, this is real life. And a fun fact, the driver that actually saw this got into the car next time and drove a second faster compared to this. It is important to do this fast, though, because just like qualifying, the way you perform during autocross determines the position on track for the main event. It's already on the screen. This is your endurance event. The biggest event of the competition and the event that every team builds their car around. It's basically the autocross event, but now with some minor differences to allow for overtaking on track, as there's up to 5 cars on track at the same time. It's a distance of 22 kilometers, which compared to Formula 1 that drives over 300 kilometers sounds a bit lame. But you have to understand that this is made by students in the span of 1 year. And there's actually not a lot of people that finishes this. Over 50% of the team that actually start this event make it to the finish line. And this is the event that determines how you also do in the overall statistics of the competition. Because not finishing this event, or not even doing that well during this event, will cost you the victory at Formula Student Germany. Therefore, 250 points seemed logical. There's another 75 points available for the people that will show the best efficiency in their car. So there we have it, 1,000 points. All the events I just talked about can be won by different teams. But in the end, there's one team that does the best, and they take home this trophy over here. It's actually quite special that that trophy is with us on stage tonight, because Formula Student Germany has a fun little tradition where the trophy that they have is a pass-along trophy, meaning that the team that wins it gets to take it home for a year and then have to hand it back. But there is one exception. If a team manages to complete and win the competition 3 times in a row, they get to keep it. Formula Student Team Delft won the competition 3 times in a row, becoming the first and only, as of yet, team to have ever done this. All right. Now, let's have a look at the team that we are sitting with tonight. Formula Student Team Delft. Who are we? What do we do? Formula Student Team Delft was brought up in 1999 with the very first car, the DUT1. DUT standing for Delft University Team, as we became the very first dream team of Delft. The DUT1 was a tryout car. The goal was to make a car and get it to the starting line of the competition and hopefully finish. But the TU Delft style, they didn't want to take it the easy way and build, a space frame chassis, which means that you build your chassis out of metal tubes. They instantly went for carbon fiber monocoque, like you see in Formula 1 today as well. And the car worked. They managed to get it to build and drive in a span of 2 years. And in 2001, the car went to Formula Student UK and actually managed to finish the competition. Fast forward a couple of years later, and we have the DUT8, our very first winning car. After becoming painfully close, with the DUT6 becoming third, and then the DUT7 becoming second, the DUT8 finally locked in that victory. And after that, many more to come. We have the DUT10. This is our very last combustion car. And wow, this car went out with a bang, because it became the fastest and lightest car of the competition. It got first place for the efficiency event, for the autocross event, and for the endurance, and therefore winning Formula Student Germany by a mile. The team even got a special award thanking them for joining the competition. So when we talk about amazing and good winning cars, this is it. After the DUT10, the team switched over to an electrical style car with the DUT11. They took to nowadays standard quite a relative simple approach, by effectively just taking out the motor and now putting in two electrical motors with a direct link to the rear wheel drive, to the wheels. It was simple, and a lot of teams thought that, switching over from combustion to electric would cause Delft some pain. But we proved a lot of people wrong, and the DUT11 instantly won Formula Student Germany with the very first electrical car. And we kept on doing so, because the DUT12 won. And then we have the DUT13 that also won Formula Student Germany, marking that hat trick I just talked about earlier on. We're going to skip forward a little bit more, and you see a lot has changed. The tires have grown smaller, and maybe more noticeable, the car has grown wings. Aerodynamics became the new trend in Formula Student, and the DUT Delft obviously went along with the trend. The DUT19 also took home our very first home victory, Formula Student Netherlands, an event, again a broadening of the Formula Student competition, started back in 2017. And with the DUT19, 2 years later, we finally locked in that home competition with the trophy you see to my right. The DUT19 also, as of this day, holds the world record for the wet skid pad, that figure 8, at the competition. Talking about world records, let's zoom in on the DUT23, because they got a world record in the acceleration run, the 75 meters. We became the very first team ever to do this in under 3 seconds, with an exact time of 2.999. And then we're already with our latest car, the DUT24, a car that around 6 months ago still raced at the competition in Germany. And they showed that they were fast, one of the fastest cars on track, but they devastatingly became 4th in the competition, just missing the podium. And then we're already to the DUT25, the car that hopefully in a couple of months is going to race in Germany and take back that victory right here in Delft. And for that, we need an amazing team, the people sitting in front of me tonight. We have a strong team, 82 brilliant engineers. And with that, there's 21 different nationalities and 12 different studies, making Formula Student Team Delft the most multidisciplinary team and the largest team here in Delft. Of the 82 engineers, there's 30 people that do this full-time, taking an entire year out their study just to dedicate their time to this team. And within that, we have our core team, which consists of our managers and our technical chiefs, 12 of them. Now, these numbers are obviously really interesting, but I think it's more interesting and more fun to actually welcome some of our engineers right on stage. Please give it up for Jesper van der Meulen and Anne Schoenberger.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Jesper, hello. And Anne. Welcome. Jesper, we'll start with you. Can you please welcome and can you please introduce yourself and explain to everyone what it is that you do here?
Yes, I am Jesper van der Meulen and I'm the Chief Suspension and Drivetrain. And together with my department of 13 engineers, we are responsible for the mechanical side of the car. That means that we make everything from the motor up to the wheels, the suspension, the steering and the pedal box.
Okay, interesting. Sounds challenging. About challenges, what are some of the biggest challenges so far that you faced?
Well, last year the team went back to bigger tires. And to get the most performance out of the car possible, we switched around our entire drivetrain concept. So everything within the wheel. We left behind our trusted 10-year used one-stage concept that we fully know, and we switched it around to build a 1.5-stage gearbox. And this, well, gave a lot of challenges over the last couple of months. But I'm very, very proud of what all the engineers did and the design we have now.
I can imagine. So, even with all of those challenges, do you think that Formula Student in Delft is what you expected it to be?
In the most parts, yes. I expected to learn a lot of technical things here in the team, and I did. I learned how you do a design, how you go through a design cycle. But I didn't expect that I also would be learning so much about how you run a team, or how you run a little company, because that's what we basically are, and how to manage people. And, well, I started liking that as well a lot.
I can imagine. Thank you, Jesper. Then on to you, Anne. Can you introduce a little bit about yourself and explain what you are doing in the team?
Yes, my name is Anne Schoenberger, and this year I'm responsible for the control system of the car, which is basically the software that runs the car, so think of things like traction control. But also for the motor controllers, which are the PCBs that control each of the 4 motors that we have.
Okay, interesting. So how does a day look like for a Formula Student Team Delft engineer?
For me, I decided to be part of this team full-time. So my day starts quite early, around, well, 9. Not too early, to tell you. It's doable. And I'm currently mostly focusing on the motor controls, meaning that I'm either producing or testing them. So producing, think of things like soldering the parts onto the circuit boards, and testing, well, seeing if there are any faults in them, if everything is working as it should. But a day is not only working, of course. We always have lunch and dinner together, which I really love. And I also love going around the team, talking to people who are working on very different things. And I love learning about them.
Sounds interesting. So far, in this entire year, what is your proudest achievement currently?
I think my proudest achievement is that the fact that I am now responsible and working on the motor controllers. I graduated as a mechanical engineer, so working on something that is so electrical engineering related has been a challenge in the beginning. I had to learn up and read up on a lot of stuff. But I'm quite proud to say that it's going pretty well.
I can imagine, and it is going well from what I hear. So, then could you give some advice for maybe the people that are watching that think, oh, I really want to join this team as well?
Absolutely. I think, circling back to what I just said, if you want to be part of this team, and I really recommend doing so, don't just stick to the things that you think you can do because, for example, because of your study background. If you're a mechanical engineer but you want to work on the software or the electrical system of the car, do so, because everyone here starts from base zero, basically. You learn so much, and it doesn't really matter what you've learned before. So if you just want to do whatever you want to do, basically, and it'll be fine.
Thank you so much. Jesper, Anne, thank you so much for being here on stage with us tonight. Everybody, let's give it one round of applause. We also want to take this moment and this night to thank all of our partners, because without our partners, we would be nowhere close to where we are tonight. Tonight, it's also my honor to introduce to you a very special partner and highlight them in a different way. Because starting all the way back with the DUT1 and highlighting and helping Formula Student Delft build their amazing history, this partner is stepping up in a major way. Everyone, it's an honor to announce to you Formula Student Delft's newest main partner. We cannot stress enough how thankful we are for Shell, and we have the honor of being welcomed tonight by Delft's ambassador from Shell, Elena De Santo. Give it a round of applause.
Hi.
Hi, Elena.
Hi.
All right. If you could introduce yourself a little bit and explain what you are doing here and what your function is.
Absolutely. Hi everyone, I'm Elena. I'm a proud TU Delft graduate. I studied management of technology here. I've been at Shell for about 5 years, started in the commercial graduate program, and I've had several roles in that period of time, including, for example, in hydrogen mobility, where we've developed an infrastructure for hydrogen trucks and cars in Europe. Through that role, I also had some touch points with Forza, the hydrogen racing car team here in Delft, which was fun. And now I'm in electric mobility, not for racing cars, but for trucks. And indeed, I'm also a TU Delft campus ambassador, so come here quite frequently to engage with students and see everything that's going on here. Yeah.
Nice. And yeah, well, Delft Shell has been part with Former Student Team Delft since the DUT1, the car that you now see on the stage. What does the partnership between Former Student Team Delft and Shell mean to Shell?
Yeah, well, we are really thrilled to be partnering. Of course, yeah, our logo was on the first ever car there, which is a great fun fact. Yeah, now we're really enhancing our collaboration again. Yeah, I think one of the key reasons why we are happily collaborating here, and I think partnership is really the right word, because we see it as more than a sponsorship, right? We really believe in fostering innovation, in sustainability, and more specifically sustainable mobility, and also investing into the bright minds, such as yourself, to really make that happen, right? As an energy company, sustainability, we have a really important role to play, and we know that we cannot do it alone. We need to work together with the various actors of the energy ecosystem. That includes the governments, right, the consumers, but also universities and bright minds such as yourself. So yeah, I think by having this partnership, we're really hoping to drive this sustainability in the energy industry and in the mobility specifically.
I love that. That's amazing. So then what are the Shell's ambitions to help Former Student Team Delft to the next level, so to say?
Yeah, so I think besides, of course, our monetary contribution, there are also other ways that we are really wanting to bring the team to the next level, I would say, and can support in that. That's, of course, we have some facilities and also technical bright minds and resources that we can bring to the table there. I think recently there was a really great opportunity where the team did some testing and safety trainings at our chemicals park in Moerdijk. Yeah, we're of course now also looking into other opportunities. For example, at our energy transition campus in Amsterdam, we have some R&D facilities there, and that's an area where we are looking at opportunities to use like 3D printing technology to improve the designs of the heat exchangers, for example, and enhance the cooling capabilities of the engine. So yeah, I think there's a lot of great opportunities to work together there, and we're really looking forward to that.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much for being here tonight, and we really appreciate all support. And we cannot we cannot wait to have that car big on the car once again.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Thanks.
Thank you. All right. So now you know a little bit about the competition and you know more about what we want to do. I think it's important that we also know how we're actually going to do this and how we're going to plan to do this. And therefore, I'm going to announce Jorrit, Greep, our project manager, who is going to take you along for a year of Former Student Team Delft.
So, 12 departments, 82 engineers, over 5,000 parts that all need to contribute to one car. But how do we do it? I'm Jorrit Greep, I'm the project manager, and I'll take you through a year at Formula Student Team Delft. We start a year off very simple with gaining knowledge. You can't build a car without knowing what the car is about, what you're actually building. So we start by research and analysis. This is a picture of our engineers. They're looking at the suspension system, how our aero package could benefit from an extra wing around our suspension, for example. After research and analysis, we move into concept. In concept, we take all the solutions you could have to all of the problems, all of the targets that we set, and we make one big trade-off table to choose the best concept, the best solution to all of our problems that we are going to put on our car. After that, we can move into design, from the very basics to a working design, to a design that we know is producible, and a design that we know is reliable. After that, we start production. And during production, we are constantly optimizing everything. Our planning, our supply chain, where we allocate our manpower. We even promote some of our engineers to production chiefs. so that they can take over the lead for a part of production, guide a team of engineers through that phase, so that our engineers can also gain experience outside of just the technical part of our team. Then, after our production phase, we go testing, but not before our rollout on the market square in Delft. This year, again, going to be around June, so be sure to check that out as well. We go testing all around the Netherlands. These are several testing locations that we go to understand the car. If we get as much knowledge from the car as possible, we know how to set it up. We know all the issues, all the problems. We can solve them so quickly on competitions that we can do all events, finish all events, and win all events. But how do we optimize our planning? How do we go through these phases, make sure that all processes are running as they should? Well, we use this, which is my Gantt chart. It's my planning. It's maybe not that interesting to look at, so I'll not bore you with the nitty-gritty details, but if you just take a look, like, wow, what an amazing planning this is. But yeah, 12 departments, 82 engineers, 5,000 parts on the car, all to build the quickest accelerating Formula student car in the world. And we all get to take part in a project that not only interests students, but it interests such a broad audience all around the world, which I'll show to you now.
Ja, via deze weg wil ik jullie graag voorstellen aan een bijzonder team van mensen die ik onlangs heb mogen ontmoeten. Formula Student Team Delft. Die hadden mij uitgenodigd bij hun op het hoofdkantoor. En die hebben mij meegenomen in hun gedachtegang omtrent het bouwen van de meest geavanceerde elektrische raceauto die er maar is. En dat kunnen zij als de beste. Want zij hebben maar liefst 5 wereldtitels gewonnen. Bijna alle engineers hebben een topfunctie gevonden bij een Formule 1 team. Kortom, de passie, de focus, de commitment is er. Maar je moet ergens beginnen en dat kunnen ze gewoon niet alleen. Ze hebben support nodig van jullie, van mij. En door middel van deze crowdfund-actie kunnen zij dus volgende stappen gaan nemen. De carbon wheels om de auto nog lichter te maken. En om de auto gewoon de snelste te maken van alles. En die prijzenkast weer te vullen. Want de DUT25 wordt gebouwd. En daarmee hopen zij opnieuw wereldkampioen te worden. Druk op deze link. Support Formula Student Team Delft. En ik hou jullie op de hoogte van alles wat er met dat geld gebeurt. En omtrent hun pogingen om opnieuw wereldkampioen te worden. Dus alvast dank voor je support en tot snel.
Thank you so much to Robert Dornbos for those amazingly kind words. Now, everybody, the moment that you've all been waiting for, the design reveal of the DUT25, the car that until this moment only lives in the minds and in the heart of the engineers in front of me. The design that everyone here in this room has worked on insanely hard and has put in blood, sweat, and a lot of tears as well already. The car that in just 6 months' time is going to be standing on the grid, ready to challenge them all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor and a privilege to announce to you tonight the DUT25.
I mean, wow, what an amazing car. This car is the result of 6 months of hard work and dedication by all the engineers in the room here. And I, Tim Guezen, Chief Engineer of the team, have the privilege of walking you through the entire design. But before we can go exactly into the design, we have to think about the goal, because we are designing with a goal. And that goal is to win Formula Student Germany. And to win Formula Student Germany, it is necessary to finish all events. If you look at the past 3 years, if you finish all events, you will guaranteed a spot in the top 5. To finish all events, you need first a reliable car, of course, but because, as Renee told already, there's also autonomous involved, you also need a good and reliable autonomous system. Those two are the main focuses for this year. But there's a third one, because we are not aiming for top 5, we are aiming to actually win. So, of course, our car also needs to be really, really fast. Then on to the design. Where do you start designing a car? We start the same as a Formula 1 team starts, by analyzing the track we actually have to drive at. In this case, the Formula Student Germany track. We don't only analyze the endurance track, but we analyze the track of every event we have to do at Germany. And then we simulate a car. We simulate a top-level car driving over these tracks and gaining points in each of the events. We start tweaking parameters on this car and seeing how we can achieve the biggest overall points for Formula Student Germany. Once we have found this optimum, these parameters that we tweak become targets. Targets for each department to hit and to make sure that we actually can win Formula Student Germany. One of the parameters is the tires. The tires have such a huge influence on the car and all the other parameters that VD, Vehicle Dynamics, chooses these at the start of the year. VD also plays a huge role in the testing of the car once the car has fully been built. They validate the models and the simulations they did at the start of the year with real-life data and compare it to. Then they also tune the real-life car, which we are going to build, and make sure that also peak performance is achieved on this real-life car. So from Vehicle Dynamics, we now have the tires, but to make it a car, you need to actually spin the tires. And that's how we arrive to powertrain. Powertrain is responsible for everything that powers the car and makes it drive, such as the motors and the accu. The car has 4 motors, and these motors are alternating current. The accu, which can be seen on the screen, is direct current. And to make sure we can actually power the motors, we have motor controllers with inverters who make the direct current alternating current. These motor controllers are developed by ourselves. We produce them mostly in-house. And because we do everything about these motor controllers, it's possible to make them really small and really efficient, which allows us to put a lot of power to the wheels. But with great power comes great heat. And that's an issue. That's why this year we focused a lot on the cooling of the motors. In our motor housing, we have integrated the cooling, as you can be seen on the picture, to make sure that the motors stay at a good temperature and don't overheat. This year, compared to last year, the maximum temperature is 20% lighter, and the pressure drop over the motors, over the housings, is 80% less than last year, which is amazing. Furthermore, these motors also allow us to regenerate when braking, which means the power that's now in the motors comes back into the accu. This is really good for the efficiency event, because we basically generate energy again and therefore use less energy. But once again, this gives us heat, and we don't want heat because the accu also doesn't need to overheat. So what are we doing? We are actually also focusing on the cooling of the accu. If you look, you see the 2 inlet manifolds which guide the air into the accu. And with the design of the accu, we actually carefully considered how the cells are stacked such that the airflow through the entire accu is properly done. Now we have spinning tires, spinning motor and a tire, but we need to connect the two. The motor spins at quite high RPM, but with relatively low torque, and we want the tire to spin with more torque and a bit lower RPM. Therefore, we need something in between. That's where our lovely drivetrain comes in. The drivetrain is very important this year, because from the simulations that Vehicle Dynamics has done, a certain gear ratio was determined optimum for our motors and tires. This gear ratio, however, is really high. And in previous years, the last 10 years, as Jesper highlighted, we had a planetary gearbox, which means all the gears for the gearbox are in the same plane. This also means if you want a higher gear ratio, the drivetrain gets bigger in diameter. If we want to get the gear ratio that's optimal for our car, it would get so big that it would no longer fit inside the tire, which is not nice, of course. Therefore, we switched to 1.5-stage gearbox, where no longer all the gears are in one plane, but actually in two planes, which allows us to get the gear ratio which is optimum for our car, and therefore we create more performance. This also allows for a smaller drivetrain, and the smaller drivetrain is easier for packaging, and it becomes more reliable because a smaller part is easier to manufacture and therefore doesn't break as easily. Next to the inner wheel, which can be seen on the screen, the drivetrain is also responsible for the pedal box. And in the pedal box, we made the improvement on the brake pedal, where we, instead of going for a lot of travel, we now are looking at the load the driver applies to the pedal, which means that the driver has more feedback and a stiffer pedal, which in the end makes the driver more comfortable in the car and be able to push harder and put a quicker lap time. Talking about the driver, we need something to house the driver, to put the driver in. And that's how we arrive to our chassis. Our chassis houses the driver, protects the driver for a crash. When that happens, it protects the ECU and all the electrical components inside the car, but it also forms an attachment point for the suspension and the aerodynamics on the outside of the car. We went for a carbon fiber monocoque, which exists of a composite sandwich structure, which means you have carbon fiber, aluminium honeycomb in between, and then carbon fiber again. This allows for a strong, stiff, but also lightweight chassis. Furthermore, we made one big improvement to the ergonomics. This year, we are making a carbon fiber seat. This seat is not just good for driver comfort, so that the driver can be more comfortable in the car and push harder, but it's actually also good for general car performance. The thing is, in a car, when the driver steers right, and there's a lot of G-forces, the body tends to move to the left, which causes the COG to shift, and when that happens, your car becomes more prone to tipping over, which is something we don't want, of course. That's why the seat is not just only good for the driver, but also for the COG of the car, center of gravity, and therefore the car performance. Now we have the chassis with the driver in it and the wheels, but we need to connect the two. That's where suspension comes in. Suspension makes sure that there is always optimal grip, so that the tires are always touching the ground at precisely the right manner. They also provide stability. Stability in the car makes sure that the aerodynamics can perform optimally and the drivability of the car gets better. One big point for suspension is adjustability. Every driver has a different weight, which means that the car will behave differently. That's why you want to be able to adjust the suspension to the driver's weight, the track conditions, but also to the driver's needs, because every driver likes the car a bit different. Now that we have a car with all the components on there, we miss a brain, something that actually connects all the components. And that's where electronics and embedded comes in. The circuit boards, the PCBs in the car, are all self-designed. This allows us to make them small, to make custom software for them that fits exactly the functionality we need for each PCB, and to make them more lightweight compared to a standard PCB, because we can remove all the functionality we don't need, which makes them lighter. Next to designing them ourselves, we also produce them ourselves. This gives us a lot of knowledge about the part, all the ins and outs are known, And this gives us a huge advantage in the testing of the PCB, but also when we actually have to fix a PCB, we know exactly how to and can quickly solder and desolder components on the PCB. Next to this, we also have live telemetry. This is really nice because this means that we can always, in real time, see what is happening with the car and get all the data from the car. This saves a lot of time during testing and where we can see the accurate temperatures and to also catch when something might be going wrong and then stop in a timely manner to not break the car. One extra feature from this is that we also are able to change parameters in the car without actually having to open the entire car and then closing it up again, which saves us a lot of time and therefore it's more efficient testing. Now we have a car that's fully done, but there is a lot of grip that's not there. The car has a lot of power, but it's like a deer on ice. We need to actually put that grip down. And there's two departments that are working on that, aerodynamics and controls. First of all, aerodynamics provides high downforce, sticking the car to the ground. This car has a CLA of 6.0, which allows us to drive upside down in a tunnel at 94 kilometers an hour, which is less than like highway speeds, which is absolutely crazy, of course. Also, we don't only look at straight line downforce, but we also look at cornering downforce. Because when you're driving in a corner, you don't want to lose all of your downforce and all of your grip all of a sudden, which means you would just slide out of the corner. You want to keep it. That's why we also look at stability of the car with the aerodynamics and look in how it performs in corners. With high downforce comes, of course, also a lot of drag. That drag you don't want during straights. That's why we have the drag reduction system, also known as DRS. This is also found on every Formula 1 car nowadays. And ours is actually pretty efficient. It reduces the drag by more than 40%, which allows us to be way more efficient and quicker during straights or during the acceleration event. Finally, we also optimize for weight. We have a side diffuser on the side of the car that provides downforce, and to save weight on the side diffuser, we hollow it out, remove the foam inside, which allows for a weight savings compared to a non-hollowed out side diffuser of 1.8 kilograms, which is a lot if you're talking about such a light car. Then the controls part. Controls make sure that we also don't spin out. First of all, with traction control, to make sure our wheels don't spin in a straight line, and then with something else called torque vectoring. We can do torque vectoring because we have 4 motors, 1 motor in each wheel. This allows us to also individually look and give set points to these motors. And that allows us to, when we turn into a corner, spin the outside motors more and the insides a bit less, which gets you quicker through a corner and in the end improves your lap time. Now we have a really high performing car that can really quickly do lap times. But there's one big gain we can still make. We can save a third of its weight by removing the driver. And that's where our autonomous system comes in. Our autonomous system basically acts the same like the driver does, and that's why we also compare it to the driver. Firstly, the LiDAR is the eyes of the autonomous system, and the camera, which is new this year, is implemented to validate the LiDAR, such that we can more reliably see and actually perceive the world around us with the car. Next to that, we also need to localize ourselves. That's where GraphSlam comes in. That is simultaneously localization and mapping, so that the car knows where it is at the track and also knows how to map the track, such that when we have made a full lap, for instance in a skid pad fully right, the second time around we already know where all the cones are and we can do the lap quicker. Then we generate a path through the cones and then the controllers come in to actually follow that path. This year we have updated and improved and even changed the whole controllers for some parts of the car, which makes them more reliable at higher speeds, so that we can actually perform well in autonomous without DNFing. The final part of the autonomous system is the actuation. That is the hands and the feet of the driver. We have an autonomous steering actuator, which actuates the steering rack, and brakes, which actuates the brakes pedal in the car. And with that, the entire autonomous system can actually drive the car fully on its own. Then a quick overview of the entire car. First of all, the total weight of the car is 179 kilograms. It has a power of 141 kilowatt, a CLA of 6.0, and it has a CDA of 1.8. Of course, these are all nice numbers, but if you haven't been full-time, day in, day out working with a car, it might not say that much to you. That's why I put it in a different perspective. Our car can do 0 to 100 with a driver in 1.76 seconds, which is really fast. It is even faster than a Formula 1 car, which does it in about 2.4, 2.6. And we have something else. We can also do it without a driver, which puts our 0 to 100 time at 1.49, just under 1.5 seconds, which is absolutely amazing and really, really quick. Then finally, I already spoke about lateral G's with the driver in the seat. In cornering, we pull 3.5 G's laterally. This already seems like a lot, but maybe if some people compare it to Formula 1, it's not that much, because there they pull 4, 4.5, maybe even 5. But when you compare the speeds, the top speeds I'm talking about then, it becomes a whole different story. The top speed of our car is only 130 kilometers, because it's fully made for the tracks we drive at, which don't have long straights. Compared to a Formula 1 car that has like 300 kilometers an hour, this lateral G is like amazing. With that, the presentation from my side comes to an end, so I would like to invite my colleagues back on stage to finalize the presentation.
All right. Now everybody in this room knows exactly what the competition is about. We know exactly what our goals are. We know exactly how we're going to try and reach those goals. And you have been introduced to the DUT25. But as highlighted multiple times throughout this evening, we do this with one team. It is a team effort. This team, over the last 6 months, has become incredibly close to our hearts and has become like our second family. And therefore, I think it's only fitting to invite them on stage. Please give a round of applause to the engineers of the DUT25 Formula Student Team Delft. We need some people down. I'll stand one.
Een beetje naar beneden. Een klein beetje naar beneden, anders komt het.
All right, 2 seconds. I got it. All right, team, this has been one hell of a night. This is your night, the night where we get to finally present your amazing hard work to the entire world. But there's one thing missing, and I think you all know what this is, because we're not just any team. We're one united team with one goal. Team Delft, what are we here for?
To win FSG with a well-integrated car that finishes all events built by one united team. Ahoo!
I see the moon, I see the moon, I see the moon. Oh, when you're looking at the sun. Not a fool, not a fool, not a fool. No, you're not fooling anyone. fingertips. Damn, I need another hit. Make me lose my mind. Hallucinate when you call my name. Got stars in my eyes, and they don't fade when you come my way. I'm losing my mind. Hallucinate when you call my name. Got stars in my I bet we're higher than the people on cloud nine. This connection got me feeling like I've known you my whole life. Wow. Even our shadows know each other in the light. So why do I think of losing you when you're right by my side? I'm not really thinking clear. Too good to be true, and that's what I feel. Like what if you left me here and I feel the flow with my sequin tears? It's like getting in my brain, something I do that I can't explain. Wicked love's creeping up. So baby, don't you let go. The thought of you with someone kills me. I'll be dancing with my heart broke. Such a sad disco. If it ain't me, then baby, if you ever find another lover, you'll see. I'll be dancing with my heart broke. Such a sad disco. If it ain't me, I got a little devil dancing in my mind, playing tricks on my imagination, ruining my night. Wow. I try to shake it off by looking in your eyes. All the voices in my head keep trying to tell me it's goodbye. I'm not really thinking clear. Too good to be true, and that's what I feel. Like what if you left me here and I feel the flow with my sequin tears? It's like getting in my brain, something I do that I can't explain.